Hey there, welcome back to another Star Trek review, and if I seem like I'm bummed, it's not because I saw a bad movie, because I really enjoy Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. It's just, when you get to the ending of this, and if you're a big fan of the original series and at least the first 6 movies like me, watching the ending is very sweet yet bittersweet, because the ending to this is perfect. Captain Kirk gives this great speech, which is, "This is the final cruise of the Starship Enterprise under my command. This ship and her history will shortly become the care of another crew. To them and their posterity will we commit our future. They will continue the voyages we have begun, and journey to all the undiscovered countries, boldly going where no man, where no one has gone before." And then you get a really good musical cue from the composer, Cliff Edelman, and the names each of the actors have signed. And before that, after Kirk gives the speech, the Enterprise going into sort of into that sun, and this, I guess the equivalent of going to the sunset, but going to the star set. It was going to the star, sort of entering the pantheon of the legends. And it's just sad because after this, they fucked it all up. Because studios cannot say no to a quick paycheck. And studios that whatever consistently fucking do this. Aliens, perfect ending. Ripley gained a daughter, Duke gained a mother. You have people like Hicks and Bishop, and boom, they go off. No more nightmares. Alien 3, let's kill everybody. Fuck everybody. Hashtag fuck Alien 3. Return of the Jedi. Everyone's happy. They won. We beat the Empire. Luke's become a Jedi. Han Solo and Princess Leia are going to be together. Yay! Great ending. Nope. We gotta make shitty fucking sequels where Han Solo dies. Gets thrown to, might as well, the fucking trash can. Luke Skywalker, fuck fail, like an F scale of fuck failure, ran away to a fucking planet to live on a mountain like he's a fucking Highlander, and then he dies by being a fart in the wind. Even if we want to take a little step down, like H2O, Halloween H2O, not everyone's a fan of it. But hey, the ending. Jamie Lee Curtis cuts Michael Myers' head off. Boom, done. Nope, we gotta do another one. Kill her off in the first 10, 15 minutes in a stupid way. For a stupid reason. Well, was it Michael Myers? It was this guy, and was he a magician? Or as they would say, a magician? Might as well. In this, get to the ending. Beautiful ending. What happens? Oh, let's make a piece of shit movie called Star Trek Generations, which to me is the worst fucking Star Trek film. So, and yeah, let's bring back Scotty and Chekhov for a paycheck. Let's bring in Captain Kirk. You think you kill him once at the beginning, then you come back and he dies on a bridge. Not even on a fucking starship bridge, literally on a wooden fucking bridge. Oh, he saved this. I don't give a fuck. He still had to fall with the fucking goddamn bridge. Dying pretty much alone. With some guy he met cooking eggs at breakfast. Must be breakfast. Spock. Hey, Leonard Nimoy Spock. No. He's gotta go back in time. Go into an ice planet that's not Hoth. And watch his fucking planet die and destroyed. And then come back for Into Fartness, where he has a cameo with, hey, I was in Rathacon, let me tell you a little bit about it for 30 seconds. And then in Beyond, he dies off screen for a fucking plaque, because of course Leonard Nimoy passed away. Oh, that's a great fucking end to Spock. He shouldn't have been in J.J. Abrams' shitty lens flare movie to begin with. This is a shitty end for the characters of Spock. Just like Generations was a shitty ending to Kirk. Just like Last Jedi was a shitty ending to Luke. Force Awakens, shitty ending to fucking Han Solo. Alien 3, a shitty ending to Ripley and Newt and Hicks and Bishop. That movie's like a fucking funeral. I'm tired of these fucking studios fucking doing this. That's why I don't want another Rambo 5. That's why I don't want Creed 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Creed 2 they kill Rocky off. Oh, Rocky died because of the cancer and it came back and now he's going to fight Ivan Drago's son. He's going to do it for Rocky. He's going to win for Rocky. And then he's going to think of some memory or, come on, you know. I wouldn't be fucking surprised if that happens in Creed 2. I'm tired of this shit. I hate that. That's why I hate those fucking movies. Like fucking Creed or fucking... I'll listen to the band Creed more than Creed. So I hate Star Trek Generations. I hate The Last Jedi. I hate Jar Jar's films, especially his two he directed. That's why I hate Alien 3. I know I have 7 minutes, I haven't talked about this, but it just my initial watching this beautiful ending get fucked in the ass with a barbed wire attached to a fucking woodpecker named Woody who's laughing in my face while trying to rape me in the ass and scratching all the insides out till I fucking bleed to death. Shitting blood, pus, and more shit. Not a great image. Neither is Alien 3 or Last Shithead. And hashtag fuck Generations. Hashtag fuck Last Jedi. Fuck. So, now that that's out of the way, what do I think about the actual movie? It's a good movie. I would say it's my 5th favorite. Like I said, my favorites are 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. Wait, would it be my 5th? Would it be my 5th? No, it'd be my 4th favorite. 4, 1, 3, 6, then 2, then 5. And I like all 6 of those movies. And then Star Trek First Contact after that. I like that one. And you didn't have to do that. Hell, for a movie, you could have just made Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek 7, and no one would have been... Hell, or... Fuck, if you don't want to deal with the Next Generation, just make a Sulu movie with him and the Excelsior. And fucking Christian Slater, who has a cameo in this. Probably, I guess he's maybe a fan of it. That's why he's in the movie. You can make a fucking Sulu movie for Star Trek 7. If you want to wait on doing this fucking Next Generation. If you need... And you have... I did more of that when I talked about Star Trek Generations. Not the Sulu thing, but the... Why I hate that movie so much. But this one, Nicholas Meyer comes back. He did Star Trek 2. Star Trek 5 underperformed with critics, underperformed with audiences, with box office. Faces stuff, great, stiff competition. I mean, you had Ghostbusters 2, which even that people said underperformed. Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, Lethal Weapon 2, Batman. I mean, that was the summer of Batman. So, you know, Star Trek 5, and of course, bad word of mouth too. But I don't think the film's that bad. Despite a couple flaws, I don't think it's that bad. Like I said, I think it's a bit underrated. But they got Leonard Nimoy, they don't have him produce, and he helped come up with the story with the fall of the Berlin Wall. And you know, what if something happened where you had to make peace with the Klingons, put a little bit of political stance on that, talk a little bit about racism and bigotry, which Kirk has because of the death of his son from a Klingon from Star Trek 3. Christopher Lloyd's group of Klingons. It was a good story. They got, like I said, Nicholas Meyer did Star Trek II, The Combat to Direct. And while he's not like big in the Star Trek, like he didn't follow the show and such, unlike, say, Stuart Bayard, who did Star Trek Nemesis, Nicholas Meyer seems like he knows what the fuck he's doing. It's like Stuart Bayard, who didn't know shit about Star Trek, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing in Star Trek Nemesis. I'll get more to that when I talk about that movie. Nicholas Meyer does. I think he helped on the script or something with Star Trek 4. And I know originally they were not going to do a movie with this cast. They were going to do kind of J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie. Or I guess at this point it would actually be a prequel. Young Kirk, young Spock. And hell, that could have been Star Trek 7. I'd be a better Star Trek 7 than fucking Generations. And don't do the stupid fucking alternate reality shit. Because at least then J.J. Abrams wouldn't be fucking near it. But people are like, nah, let's give him one more movie, send him off into the sunset. And they did. And yeah, the film starts out with this moon of the Klingons blows up. It's cool to see Sulu as a captain of the USS Excelsior, which I think was the ship we saw in Star Trek 3. So I thought that was a fun continuity, because I remember in Star Trek 3, Sulu seemed like he had his eye on this ship. So that's cool. And what's nice about watching these first 6 Star Trek movies again, each one is so unique. I forgot how unique each of these movies are between. Because you think about it, Star Trek 1, my second favorite, is 2001 Space Odyssey type of adventure. It's a discovery, scientific discovery. To, seek out new lives, new civilizations. They definitely seek out new life. Star Trek 2, the revenge, action, submarine warfare take. Star Trek 3, I would call it character piece. Because it really is about these characters that it's a personal movie. It's a personal mission. It's a personal chemistry of the characters that we get to see. Star Trek 4, lighthearted, almost comedy. Star Trek 5, to me, a little bit more, try to be more philosophical, spiritual. The idea what Shatner was going with. There's some tweets I would do, and maybe if he had the effects guys that he wanted, like ILM behind him and such, and to really get the ending he wanted, maybe people would not be hating on it so much. Again, Paramount, let Shatner do his fucking director's edition of Star Trek 5. I would be very curious about that. And then this one, which is, part of me almost wants to say In the Line of Fire, but with Star Trek. It's a mystery, almost Jack Ryan movie. And when I say like Clear and Present Danger almost, or it's that, or The Hunt for Red October. I mean, it's like that sort of, I actually see John Grisham type of movie when I look at this. Sort of the, mystery and double crosses and people in political power who are not sure you can trust. And again, each of those 6 movies really have their own feel, which I appreciate. I can't say any of them are a carbon copy. I can't say 6 was a carbon copy of any of them. I can't say 5 was a carbon copy of any of them, or 4 a carbon copy of them. So for 6 movies, I would say the first 6 Star Trek films are definitely, watching these again, one of my favorite franchises. I forgot just how good these movies were. It's been a lot of fun. And it sucks because it's going to end. Because believe me, if you have missed me ranting, you're going to get quite a bit of ranting. Because most of the Next Generation films, and especially the first two the J.J. Abrams directed ones, and even a little bit of Star Trek Beyond, there's going to be some ranting. And man, it's like, man, I've been having fun. I don't want it to end. Now I gotta get to these fucking bullshit. But like this movie, it's cool to see some of these actors. You got David Warner, who was in the first Waxwork, and hell, he made an appearance in Scream 2. And David Warner's been in a lot of stuff. He's there as sort of the Chancellor of the Klingons. Christopher Plummer, which actually he's in this movie that a guy sent me, Hanover Street with Harrison Ford. Christopher Plummer, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's there as General Chang, a Klingon who loves Shakespeare, talks with Shatner about Shakespeare, sort of from one warrior to another. Kim Cattrall, who this haircut she would later also we would see in Split Second with Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer, which is a favorite of mine, which she did, and that's why her haircut looks like this, because they're all the same time. And Kim Cattrall has been in Mannequin. She's most famous for Sex and the City. Like I said, Richard Slater has an appearance as part of the crew of Sulu's. I forgot this actress's name. She's part of Sulu's as well, and I know she was on the Star Trek show. And I should have written this down so I didn't have to type it up, but I forgot her name, but I know I've seen her. So I have to get to, I should have done the cast. Sorry about this. Well, it'll be a long one because I'm sort of holding off doing the fucking next movies. Oh, okay. Christian Slater was the son of Mary Jo Slater, who is the casting director. Interesting. I did not know that the casting director was the mother of Christian Slater. So that explains it. Let's see. Trying to think. Kim Cattrall. Yeah, Kim Cattrall's character originally they were going to have it be Savick, who we saw in Kirstie Alley in Star Trek 2, and then by Robin Curtis in Star Trek 3 and a little bit in 4. But I think it was Gene Roddenberry who did not like that. And then Nicholas Meyer's like, well, I created the character. But they didn't use Savick, which I'm glad because I like Robin Curtis in Star Trek 3 and 4, and I didn't need to see her be, because she turns out to be a turncoat villain of the film. Let's see. Trying to find. Now I'm just looking at the development, so. Just go down to the fucking cast. Oh, you're not on here, you fucking asshole. Well, anyway, there's. Fuck it. Anyway, I know there's an actress in there that's from the show, so fuck it. Michael Dorn, who's like, I'm like, is that Worf? But it's a defense attorney. I don't think it's Worf. I mean, they never say his name, so I'm like, is that Michael Dorn playing a different kind of? different kind of Klingon. I thought that was interesting. Again, I don't know if he was supposed to be Worf or not, but it's pretty interesting. A lot of recognizable people. And after the Klingon moon is blown up, like the collapse of the Berlin Wall, Kirk is chosen, and Spock sort of puts the word in to take the Enterprise and meet with the Chancellor of the Klingons. And Kirk shows his prejudice. I don't know, William Shatner had a problem with that because he felt Kirk would not do that. He's like, yeah, it fits with the story, but I'm not sure Kirk would be that way. So I know he had a problem with it. But Nicholas Meyer and others were insistent on that. I just see both sides, but it worked well for the story. And since you're utilizing the death of his son, I thought, okay, that's something to go with in the story. And it does a lot of nice sequences dealing with bigotry and racial. I know there's a lot of films today that try to do that, but I think this film succeeds better than quite a few of those movies, in my opinion. Just while it's there and it's purposely there, like Star Trek, ever since back in the show, it purposely was doing that kind of stuff. I mean, ever since the one episode where this side was white, this side was black, and then another person, this side was white, this side was black. It's like, why are you chasing? You're the same. No, he's not. He's not that. He's not that. And they're chasing each other. And because they're aliens, no one thought racism. And they're taking a note on racism, but they were. And people caught on to that. And Star Trek has usually been about that. And in my opinion, done very well. And also, this is a very cool poster. Very cool poster, having all three of the faces and the Enterprise. They have dinner. Certain lines are interesting. For example, one Klingon saying, "Oh, it'll be the annihilation of our culture." I'm like, that's funny. I swear there's been some movies recently I've heard that. But I don't know, I just thought it was more effective in a movie like this. And the Enterprise fires on the Klingon ship, but then you realize that it was a cloaked ship, a bird of prey, that could fire while cloaked. So it's some kind of prototype. And that's where you get the mystery aspect. There's also these two in suits go on and they shoot the Klingons at 0G, and that's where you get the blood flying around, sort of the purple blood. Which, yeah, the CGI doesn't hold up nowadays, but, you know, it was 1991. Some idea of leniency to that. I mean, yeah, you compare it to the day, sure. Let's say something out of Arcade with Charlie Band or something. But, I mean, it was 1991, and, you know, the idea of leniency to that. ILM came back. I believe they did. The effects of the spaceship, the Enterprise, the Excelsior, all of them look pretty damn good to me. It really makes me want to get these films on Blu-ray to see. I think there are packs. I didn't even realize this version of the film was different from the theatrical. Just, I mean, it says special collector's edition, but there's like a few little changes that I don't remember when I first saw it. One being when they find out Kim Control is a turncoat and Spock looks at her mind to see images. I remember when quite a few times when I first saw this movie, it was Spock says the name and you just hear Kirk, who else? And Spock says the name as he's getting it. In this, anytime he says a name, it cuts to showing us the face of the person. And then I read up that Nicholas Meyer actually put in a little bit, few alterations. I don't know what the other alterations are, but that was one that I noticed. I'm like, wait a minute, I remember it was like, and I didn't like the alteration because, one, I'm watching the movie I can pay attention, and like it to me, it kind of takes me out of the moment. Like Spock says a name, and then in the original, we're holding on to the shot. Okay, what other names do I say? Blah blah blah. Okay, what else he's going to say? And we're still in the moment between Spock and Kim Cattrall's character. But then it's like blah blah blah. Here's the face of the guy because you're too stupid to remember that name. This guy. Hey, remember that too? Romulan ambassador. Show a face of the Romulan ambassador. I'm like, I know who the Romulan ambassador is. I'm not fucking idiot. I paid attention. You've shown these characters before. Hell, one of the characters I remember being in Star Trek 4 on the planet Earth, and in the future. The Starfleet guy. I forget the actor's name. But other than, I like the story, I like the aspects of putting mystery when they're looking to see who fired and how they fired, who were those two guys, and trying to look for the uniforms, and everyone's getting their take. Uhura and Scotty and Chekhov. It's like giving people something to do. You get little bits of humor, like they find a shoe, and Chekhov goes, "You know the Russian epic Cinderella?" That the shoe fits, and Spock's like, and you look down, it's like an alien foot that would never fit in that boot, so it's not him. Like, there's little fun moments of humor. Kirk and McCoy go over to look at the Klingon ship. They get arrested. They get put to jail, sent to this prison where on top is the snow and deep down. It's like, wow, there's a little bit of Kirk getting into a prison fight, which is not typical, which I enjoy. And Kirk fighting this guy and kicking his knee, but it's not really his knee. It's his dick. It's his balls. And even another alien says, well, not all genitalia is in the same place. And the alien that says that is, what was the character's name? I wrote it down. What the hell was her name? Martia? Like Martia? It's this someone named Iman. I-M-A-N. Iman. Never heard of this lady before? Iman? It's a strange name. Shapeshifter, that's what you find out. I thought that was a cool idea. Helps McCoy and Kirk get out. And then you find the shapeshifter is tricking them. And you get sort of an interesting fight of Kirk versus Kirk. There's the shapeshifter. Shapeshifter morphs into Kirk. I thought that was an interesting idea. And yeah, I like the mystery aspect and them using their heads to sniff out what's going on, what's happening, like how they trick Kim Cattrall, and they get in contact with Sulu to help him out with his ship. And you get some nice little conversations, like Spock and Kirk have a nice conversation, and Spock goes, "Are the two of us so old and so inflexible that we have outlived our usefulness?" And it seemed like as if they were talking about their real lives and careers as well as the characters. And even when, I love the idea where how do you fight an invisible enemy? Pretty much, technically, a heat seeker or a gas seeker torpedo. I like that they get McCoy helping with Spock, and Kurt's like, fire, to be, not to be, blows it up, and then Sulu's helping out, and they both blow up this great model. So great that they use the same fucking explosion of the same fucking bird of prey in Star Trek Generations. For fuck's sake. You're that cheap. And like I was saying before, it's interesting the familiar faces, like I said, Kim Cattrall, David Warner, Christopher Plummer, Michael Dorn as a Klingon. Again, he's the defense attorney for Kirk and McCoy. And I guess it's not supposed to be Worf, but it's just weird that I thought Star Trek The Next Generation was, I don't know, just interesting. Like, was that supposed to be Worf? I guess not, but just sort of weird. Someone can answer me that, like what the whole, if there's some deal with that, like what was that all about? If anyone knows. And also Kurtwood Smith. I mean, Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop. He's there as the president that Kurt saves, and I think that's what reminded me of In the Line of Fire. They have like a sniper, and like instead of Clint Eastwood saving president, William Shatner saving the president, and he gives a little nice speech. And like I like that a lot of the characters get their moments of shine. Like Scotty is the one who shoots the sniper. Spock and McCoy get the torpedo, and then Sulu's helping out with his ship, and Sulu's the one who told Kirk where to go for where this peace treaty is at, peace conference. Like each one like get their moments to shine, considering this is supposed to be the last one, especially with the whole crew. And they save it, and Kirk gives a nice speech, and Sulu says, nice to see you in action one more time, Captain Kirk. Take care. I'm like, you should have just made a fucking Sulu movie for Part 7. Like I said, it would have been better than Star Trek Generations. Or Horror says, hey, we're supposed to report back. It's supposed to be decommissioned. And Spock says, if I were human, I believe response would be, go to hell. If I were human. That to me was funnier and better handled than when Data is in Star Trek Generations and going, shit. Oh shit. Maybe it didn't stretch out shit. It was, oh shit. Oh yeah, that movie is shit. You're right, Data. Like, this worked out better. And I love the Peter Pan line, second started right. It's straight on till morning. And the great speech, like I said, and going off into the star, into the sun, and people signing their names. You see the signatures, and great music on that note. I don't really have many problems, just little nitpicks. I mean, like, the Klingon blood thing doesn't hold up the best, but it's 1991, so give it a little bit of leniency. I don't know. There's not really many problems I can think of with the movie. I really enjoyed the film. It was nice. Like I said, for these first 6 movies, it was nice that they try to be their own specific, different kind of movie. I appreciate that, and I thought the cast did a great job. The other effects hold up well. The person who did the score, I didn't care for the opening score with the opening credits. I don't know, that score didn't do much for me, that theme or whatever. But throughout the film, especially at the end, I thought he pulled off fairly well. And again, it was just kind of sad and touching and nice to see this cast go off on a high note. And the film did well critically, it did well box office wise. That's why you did not need to do more. I know the next one would be like, what, 94? Just 3, I mean, you didn't need to have Kirk, and you didn't need to kill him, and then J.J. Abrams didn't need to bring the old spot Leonard Nimoy back. Go back in time. Haha, you failed because you didn't do this, and your fucking ass is on that planet now. Like, you see Luke on a planet in Last Jedi, and you both failed because look, Spock, haha, your fucking planet is dead and be destroyed. And then You're there for bullshit. Couldn't just have them go off in the sunset. You can't have characters you like go off in the sunset. For some reason, the kids, they gotta keep milking the tit, or the walrus tit, like The Last Jedi, and just fuck up, fuck up shit. They do that so many times, and they never learn. They never learn. And quite a few times, it's not like the Alien 3 was a big blockbuster when it came out, and there were quite a few people who hated it. Yeah, I know there's some people who like it now, but believe me, there's also a shit ton of people, including me and my friends, who thought Alien 3 was the start of the shit that the Alien films never rose out of. Star Trek Generations is not like that was the most praised fucking movie. The Last Jedi. Yeah, you can talk about how many billions of dollars it made. There's a split. And it's not a minor split in the audience. Make more films like Aliens and Star Trek 6. And yes, even Return of the Jedi. And less films like Last Jedi and Star Trek Generations and Alien 3. There you go. I'm not even the head of a fucking company, but even I can figure that out. Of course, yeah, Creed, that did well. Hey, I disagree. I fucking. Anyway, I know this was longer than I wanted it to be, but I figured, it's the last of the first, the 6 movies I truly enjoy of the Star Trek films. They're the films I grew up with. They're the films I like. When I think of the Star Trek films, I think of the first 6 movies. And I thought this went out on a high note. To be honest, you did not need any more Star Trek movies. Just like after this, there's like one film I thought was decent. I like Star Trek First Contact. One. Not Generations, not Nemesis, not Insurrection, not JJ bullshit. Even the Star Trek Beyond, I'm like, but if it was never made, I wouldn't shed no tears for Caesar. Shatner style. I would shed no tears for it. But yeah. Enjoyed this movie. Liked the mystery aspect. Liked that the cast got their moments. I guess if anyone's still watching, I'll talk a little bit maybe of the making of. But hell, I mean, this is all on Wikipedia, and who says they're right? Okay, it says here, Michael Dorn plays Colonel Worf, an ancestor of his Worf character who defends Kirk and McCoy at their trial. That's what it says here on Wikipedia. Huh. An ancestor of his Worf character. Well, I guess that answered my question. Yeah, they wanted to do young versions of Kirk and Spock at Starfleet Academy, Top Gun in outer space, called the Academy Years. Walter Koenig even had a story outline. The old crew must rescue. You read on Wikipedia. I don't really like his idea. Nimoy, Mark Rosenthal, and Lawrence Connor suggested Kirk meeting Jean-Luc Picard, but Star Trek The Next Generation's producers refused to end their show. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. When this was made, it was the 25th anniversary of Star Trek. I forgot about that. Wow. The 25th anniversary. And then just not that long ago, we had the 50th anniversary. Huh. I forgot about this was the 25th anniversary film for Star Trek. This is a better way for an anniversary film than Star Trek Beyond. I'll say that. I don't even hate Star Trek Beyond to death. There's aspects of it. I mean, it was just sort of like, eh. Especially just hearing the stuff that got coming up with reviews, but fuck, I'm not going to defend that movie. Fuck no. I'll defend Star Trek 5. I'm not defending Beyond. But anyway, I've gone long enough. I guess so, to repeat the great line at the end. This is the final cruise of the Starship Enterprise under my command. This ship and her history will shortly become the care of another crew. To them and their posterity we will commit our future. They will continue the voyages we have begun and journey to all the undiscovered countries, boldly going where no man, where no one has gone before. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.